hang on a moment.
Alright geezers, sorry, terribly unprofessional. I'm chewing a bit of gum. I like my breath to smell nice when I do these videos. Minty fresh. In today's Breaking Truves, again, we really are running on fumes. Vapor trails, dear viewer. There's not a lot of big headlines going on, and I'm getting a bit worried. So once again, dear viewer, if you've got any tips, you want to tip me off, oh, dear viewer, tip me off. Please tip me off. Your wife doesn't need to know. Go to www.strictlyformygeezers@gmail.com. That is strictlyformygeezers@gmail.com. It's a reference to the Tupac Shakur album. I'm a little bit hip. I'm a little bit hop. My brothers in the hood would argue I'm down with it. And I am. I'm down with it. So do send me anything you want me to talk about, and I will talk about it. I'm in desperate need of Slop to talk about. So this is another Slop Plus installment where... What the fuck is he doing? Sorry about this. What are you doing in the bathtub? What are you doing in the bathtub? Why? Get back here, you little bastard. Why are you in the bathtub? You little shit-munching deviant. Why? One of these days, I'm going to fill it up with water and put you in it. Sorry. What are you playing at, you plonker? He was in the bathtub trying to, I don't know, dismantle the plug hole. Where was I? I was saying something, hang on. I was in the middle of something, surely. Yeah, this is just another installment where I kind of scrapbook all of the niche internet happenings into one neat little box. Honestly, if you're not fucking the blanket, you're trying to tear apart my house. He hasn't fucked the blanket in months, by the way. Again, I knew I was a Pavlovian, grandmaster, like a bit of a wizard. I didn't know I was that good. And the terrible thing is, dear viewer, I Pavlovian condition people that good as well. It's terrible. In today's Breaking Truves, meet the world's first licensed armless pilot. Jessica Cox flies with her feet. What do you think about that? Do comment below. Let's hear your thoughts. I would, don't get me wrong, I'm a liberal. Live how you please. If you want to live without arms, sweetheart, God bless yourself. I would be a little bit on edge if this was a commercial pilot. You know what I mean? You're in economy class, fine. And you peek in the cockpit. The cockpit, shall we say. And you see this lovely little woman with her feet, her bunions, all over the control panel. I would ask to be escorted off the flight. I'd cause a mischief, so they have to kick me off. No ill will against the lady. I'm sure she's an absolute sweetheart. I'm sure she's armless. Okay, I'm sure she's absolutely armless. But I would not feel comfortable with an armless pilot. Maybe that makes me a disablephobe. I'll make it up to you, dear viewer. I'll go on some great pro-disabled rant later in the episode. Don't you worry about it. But yeah, comment below. Would you be comfortable with a woman or man or non-binary? Let's make it all, nice and liberal. Would you be comfortable with I prefer the term legful. I think armless is problematic. Legful. Would you be comfortable with a legful person of gender nondescript? Feet all over the control panel. I'd be worried because I'm sure she's great. I'm sure she's fucking phenomenal. Best pilot they have at Ryanair, knowing them. I I would not be comfortable with that. In other troves, right? Okay. Right wing watch. We've got another right wing watch. Marks and Spencer's has gone too far this year. They've even replaced Colin the Caterpillar. I should quickly just do a sort of like a community note. This is an AI generated image. This is not real. Although I wish it was real because I would eat him up. I'll be honest. Khalifa the Caterpillar. That's kosher. That is haram. All right. Speaking of the right wing, it does tell you something when they need to use ChatGPT to make the brown people look more scary. I think that's giving the game away, innit? Racism slop YouTuber quote Kurt Kaz just got caught using AI to make a random friendly brown person look like a criminal. What do you think about that? Do comment below. They've changed all the street signage. Where's this? Is this... I heard this was Oxford Street, although I doubt this is Oxford Street. Comment below. Where is this? Yeah, you again, media literacy really is failing us. You've got to be cautious. If you're asking your little, your little friendly bobot in your pocket to make brown people look more intimidating, surely if this was such a endemic, is that a word? It is now, I've said it. If this was such an endemic problem, why don't you just actually go to these places? You know what I mean? Why don't you go to these no-go zones and film yourself? Why do you have to edit places that look perfectly fine? Oh, wonderful. Everyday's new hair and beauty, Ace. All the signage is in English. You've got this little black chap and he's smiling. Oh, wonderful. Lovely. Oh, isn't it wonderful to live in this country? And then this absolute Fruit Loop uses a little... this is what kills me. He edits out his thumbs up. This is... These people are not well. These people really are. I'm worried about them, frankly. They edit all of the signage in English, in wonderful, beautiful Anglo-Saxon English, to Arabic script. Comment below, is that actual Arabic script? Have they translated it via Google or, no doubt, ChatGPT? What does this read? Is this like a dog whistle? Does this translate into something horrid? Or like, what's going on? I can't get over it. I can't get over the fact that he edited out his thumbs. I think when you're so desperate to be oppressed on just a perfectly normal day out, I feel you need therapy. You know what I mean? He's lovely. Look at him. He's a lovely guy. There he is on his bike. Oh, wonderful. Isn't it wonderful to live in this country, dear viewer? Evidently not. Apparently, I'm moments away from being radically Islamified. So if the next episode is in Arabic, I can only apologise. In other troves, Dignitas founder dies by assisted suicide aged 92. This is part of a controversial try before you die scheme, I believe. Ludwig Manelli. Oh, that's a great name, isn't it? Ludwig Manelli. During the World Federation of Right 2. The Dignitas team said Mr. Manelli, no relation of Liza, I believe, had planned succession for a seamless transition. Why does this sound like some fucking business merger? What? The man died. And the organisation will continue its quite professional and combative work. Yeah, as I understand it, we recently brought in assisted suicide. That's what Dignitas is. I think in absolute extremes where you do have a little old lady wriggling and writhing in pain, turn it off, really like sad, right? The family watch on in horror. Nana, please. And they're begging the nurses to just pull the plug, and they can't because it's against the law. I feel in those situations where they're 807 years old, all they want is rest. They just don't want the pain. It's terminal. There's no treatment. There's no cure. It's only going to get worse. They are in agony. Right, ibuprofen does fuck all. All right, the NHS, God love it. The ibuprofen does fuck all for little Aunt Edith, wriggling and writhing. Turn it off, please. Right, I'm fine. I feel that's a kindness. That is a kindness to turn off the switch and log off. Okay. I feel, though, this is a precedent. And dare I say, this is a slippery slope. Right? Because it always starts with the cases, the edge cases that no one would argue against. Right? Little Aunt Edith, she's not going to get better. Her family are fucking heartbroken. Watching mother, I would say daughter, but that would be a bit weird. You've got an 1,007-year-old just watching on. She's weak. Like fucking Palpatine. Right, but you've got a family watching on and they just want to give her peace. They want her to die in grace and dignity. Dignitas, maybe. And they want the last memories of Nana to be, Christmas. Oh, turkey. Bacon. Oh, Brussels sprouts wrapped in bacon. Meat inside of a different meat. Oh my God, what the fuck is that? Right? Oh, I'm excited for Christmas, dear viewer. But they don't want the dying memory, burned into their frontal cortex to be of pain and suffering and misery in this really pitiful state. Fine. Those situations, absolutely. But it's always gonna become normalised, and then it's gonna be pushed to be more and more widespread. You know what I mean? You already see it. You've got a case of the blues. It's like Dr. fucking Mario. They're throwing pills at you. Can't get enough pills thrown at you. Because our mental health services are cripplingly underfunded. And that's why when I'm Prime Minister, we are going to nationalise mental health via the National Care Service. I've already been over it. I've already litigated the fact this is a fucking terrific idea. I'm not going to waste my breath here, dear viewer. But it will work its way down to people with clinical depression. It will work its way down, God forbid, to the disabled. Right? Because let's put it this way. There are a lot of people with lifelong disabilities. They are not, quote unquote, going to get better. And there's an issue there of agency, right? Can they consent to have that kind of procedure done? Or are there going to be bad faith actors and actresses, I'm a liberal, that step in and say, oh, my poor autistic boy, right? As a way to sort of morally, virtuously kill their son or daughter or brother or whatever. I feel there needs to be a lot of safeguarding around vulnerable people in the realm of assisted suicide. Because, this government, not this government, but this country's government already has a checkered track record with the rights and the dignity of the disabled. Case in point, dear viewer, get it up on screen. COVID-19 inquiry told of do not resuscitate communication to people with learning disabilities. This is what we're dealing with, dear viewer. If you gave these people a big red button to essentially do eugenics on the disabled, are you really telling me they're not going to use it? Are you really telling me they're not just going to use this to, lift the burden of the disabled? We've already seen the rhetoric. The rhetoric is now intensifying around the disabled. Oh, they're such a burden. They're a burden on our public services. Those people, quick as a whippet in heat, would push for assisted dying to the severely disabled. And we've got to look out for them. we've got to look after them, because this world is very hostile to the disabled, and the capitalists will no doubt get involved to cut corners. Imagine the savings if we just killed all the disabled, which is, I mean, that is what the Nazis did, to be fair. That is actually what the Nazis did. But never mind that. Think of the money we could save. How much money could we save via a very modest 2 to 3% wealth tax on the fucking kleptocrats? Yeah? I'll tell you, a lot more. And they've got to be looked after. These people have to be fucking protected. Because, I mean, you hear horror stories of the parents or the carers of autistic individuals. And they're smothered with a fucking pillow. And I don't downplay the challenges of A, being a parent, B, being the parent to someone with special needs. I do not downplay that. But you can't look me in the eye and tell me that's fucking justified. Oh, the stress was too much, so you had to kill your, severely disabled son. I think that, no, I'm not on board with that. And those people, they've got a loophole now. Not right now, but 10 or 15 years from now, they will have a loophole to do the kind thing on behalf of the disabled. And we've got to speak up. We've got to speak up against it. Because if we can't look after our most vulnerable in society, who the fuck can we look after? Is he doing it again? You little... What a cunt, honestly. In other truths, oh Christ, Charlie Kirk's face may be poisoning AI image generators. It's what he would have wanted, innit? It's what he would have wanted. In other truths, how long left? Okay. This is the worst sentence I have ever read in my entire life. What's behind me with Sydney Sweeney, 3 Labubu's doing 67 at a McDonald's drive-through, #Fallon tonight. Yeah, the next story will prove, dear viewer, I am not made for these times. I'm not built for this. I'll be completely diamond white now. I'll be vulnerable in time for Christmas. I am not made for these times. The future scares me, and frankly, I'm considering Dignitas, to be honest with you. Closing, finally. How long have I done? Can I fuck off yet? 20 minutes, that's modest. Spotify did their Wrapped, their sort of end of the year roundup they do every year, believe it or not. And nothing really noteworthy came from mine, other than my estimated listening age was 83. So I feel it, honestly. Some days I truly do feel it. Comment below, what was in your Spotify Wraps? And I love you. God bless yourself. And as usual, do comment below. Comment anything, string of numbers, personal insult. It really doesn't matter. And get these videos out there. Please get these videos out there. I'm so fucking desperate. I get them anywhere, frankly. Get them absolutely anywhere. And essentially, all I did was tell some harmless jokes about ethnic minorities and throw a brick at a police officer, and they fucking arrested me for it. I'm sorry. We live in a free country. I should be able to tell harmless jokes about ethnic minorities and throw a brick at a police.
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.